Coming up on the Get Loud podcast, we'll look back at the Ravens, look ahead to the Panthers.
Yes.
We've got Legends Weekend.
Oh, folks.
And we'll do some player comps. And, of course, we're going to geek out.
And seahorses have no reverse.
Show's good. And it says it was. How you doing, guys? Welcome to the Get Loud podcast. Smoot and Jinx. The Get Loud podcast is presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Find tickets to Commanders games and more. SeatGeek. And this is the hot ticket.
It is.
This is how we start the show. Presented by SeatGeek, the most disruptive idea in ticketing. A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Hey, listen, man. Your boots are amazing. All right.
Oh.
I have to say that. It look like they come with like 100 miles of horse riding on them.
Oh, man. You know I'm from the country.
I know you hooked them on.
I understand.
Too. I guess I got to throw this up until like we beat y'all for like 12 months.
There
all right?
it is.
All right, welcome to the SEC, my friend.
I'm better at dressing in the fall. I feel like fall suits me better than like summer clothes when I'm wearing those short shorts and people are like, Jinx, put your pants on.
Yeah. You know what? I'm more of a fall dress guy now that I moved to the East Coast. And yeah, I do like it. Like growing up in the South, you don't really have any options. It's just shorts or shorts. Right?
Yeah.
That's your options. I like to dress like a grown man. I look like I'm in a catalog, you know? You remember East Bay?
I do remember East Bay.
It was the best. Was they before their time? Like
I think they were. They just didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, they was before their time. They were Amazon before Amazon.
That's a good point.
Just like SmoothSmack.com was actually Twitter.
It was.
Before Elon Musk bought it.
Well, we saw some grown men this past Sunday on the field in Charm City.
We did.
Commanders and Ravens, and let's put it out there. There are no moral victories in the NFL.
We don't do moral victories.
We don't do that. But you can't take a step back and say, where are we as we push towards the future? And this was a good performance, even though it's okay to be disappointed too.
We looking out of different windows. They're on the second floor of the house looking out the window because they have a Super Bowl window. We are in a let's see who we are, and if we make the playoffs, we make the playoffs. We're starting ground zero. They are in a Super Bowl window, so it was a great test to say where are we generally. Well, we was a touchdown deficit behind a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah,
that tells me everything I need to know. No more victories. I'm still sad. That smile is upside down. I cried all weekend. But at the end of the day, we understand that we can compete with anybody in this league, and it showed last week.
I think that was the key, is when they were down a couple scores, you thought, all right, how are we going to respond now?
Yeah.
Is this a team that's going to fold and say we're not ready for this moment, or are we going to keep attacking, we're going to keep playing? And they made it a game.
The only thing we fold is $100 bills. We didn't care about being down. And that's what happens when you got a quarterback, Jinx. When you got a quarterback, you're never out of a game.
Yep.
And that's just what it showed. And we went blow for blow with a heavyweight. It's Ali versus Foreman. Both teams got beat up. And that's what you want to see. I want to see these young guys fight back. They fought back. I want to see these young guys take them for 4 quarters. They took them for 4 quarters. So at the end of the day, disappointed? No. Understanding where we at? Yes, I am.
And I think you can see that from people around the league, objective observers saying, this Commanders team is going to be a problem. Even Roquan Smith, after the game, was asked about Jaden Daniels and said, they got themselves a dude at quarterback.
Yeah, a dude. Once you have a dude, man, you got to realize, I keep telling people that 8 billion people on this planet, we ain't found 32 quarterbacks in the same year ever. That's how hard it is to find that guy. Even though Doug won us a Super Bowl, his career here wasn't the longest.
Right.
And Mark Rippon wasn't the longest. So even though they brought a Super Bowl trophy to the franchise, could they really be what you call our franchise quarterback for 15 years? Very hard to find. I think we found that with Jaden Daniels.
We talk each week here on the pod. We talk every week on the pregame show. And you nailed it again because I asked you every week, who's going to step up? And you said, you know what? It's not going to be a guy stepping up. It's going to be a guy we can count on, Terry McLaurin. And he did. He had a great game against a very good Ravens defense.
Yes, he did. And that last touchdown catch, that last touchdown pass was a thing of beauty. And the one thing I know about Terry is he wins at the point of attack. Like if he had the high point of ball, if you're trying to stop him from catching the ball, that's a very, very hard thing to do. And I just felt like this was a game where the youngsters might make some plays, but this is a veteran game. This is when the old men show their head.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Terry McLaurin. I thought he would show, this is what I can do. I want the ball more. I'm the cookie monster. Feed me more.
And he has said now, and it's a delicate subject to broach because You don't want to disrespect any
Did you say
quarterback.
broach?
Yes.
Oh, that's civilized of you, my
thank
friend. You're welcome.
You never want to take a shot at anyone you've played with.
Yeah.
But I think Terry has alluded to the fact that it's nice to know that now I have a guy I can rely on.
Yeah.
And look at Santana for most of his career.
Yeah.
No shot against anyone, but he had it was just a rotation of quarterbacks, and that's hard as a receiver.
That's why I played receiver in high school. I played receiver in college. And then I sat down and thought to myself, which one can I control my own destiny? And it's DB. All right?
Yeah.
Because how do you know I'm a great receiver if I don't have a great quarterback? Like, you can never know who I am. And that's a hard thing for receivers. And Terry has just literally just taken it how it comes. And that's why I think Terry and Santana are cut from the same cloth, meaning they're not divas. Most receivers are divas. They like to walk the runway and never trip or fall. Not these two dudes. They get it out the mud. They understand the situation, and they just gonna take it how it comes. They never say nothing. They never nag. They just go out there and play football, and that's what you love if you're a Commanders fan.
And I appreciate Terry showing respect and just playing the game, keeping his head down the entire time.
Yeah.
Because most receivers aren't like that. What was that? They mic'd up Stephon Diggs a few years ago when he was playing in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And that's when he was playing with Kirk Cousins. And I can't repeat exactly how it was, but Stephon, and you know how Stephon is.
He's combustible.
Oh my God.
He's combustible.
He was opening the end zone and Kirk missed him, and you heard, "Damn it, Kirk!
Yeah.
Get me the ball. I'm right here."
Listen, I have checked so many diva receivers my whole life, the T.O.s of the world, the Randys of the world, and boy, it's so easy to get under their skin. Because I would just simply tell them, you got Nate Peterman throwing you the ball. I don't care if you're a Ferrari. You don't have a chance today. Today you belong to me. Come on, your last name is Smoot. Or your name is Darrell Smoot today. Because guess what? You're a part of my family. Nothing you can do. And they do feel helpless in those situations where I just beat you on the route. And I'd be like, so? Did he throw you the ball? He can't throw the ball. All right? So don't you worry about it today. Put your hands in your pockets and you enjoy the game like the rest of them.
I like that you went 5th grade there. So
That's what it is. Because receivers gonna let you know every time they get an inch on you. They gonna let you know, they should have threw me the ball right there.
Right.
And I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so?
It doesn't count against me. Nobody's gonna hold it against me. Especially with corner being the position that it is. You love us one day, you hate us the next. We're good one day, we're the worst guy in the world the next day. So that's why I tell people, if you play defensive back, just understand in the back of your mind, loved you'll never be. And that's probably why I'm bad in relationships. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about great corner play and Mike Sanderstill, who was very good. He's one of those guys, I love when you can take a step back and look at the totality of a season and watch the progression of someone. First game for Sanderstill, getting beat all over the place, and now you can see him getting more confident, stepping in front of receivers, making plays. He's going to be really good.
No, he's going to be very good, and he's problem solving. That's what you have to do in the league. You find out how fast is the game. You find out who do I match up well against. They brought him in to be a starting nickel, and now he's outside. They say, hey, I got to put more on your plate. I need more from you. And when the coaches demand more from you, some guys stand up, some guys say, I can't. He's not an I can't guy.
Yeah.
You knew when he played for Harbaugh in Michigan, this guy was hard-nosed. I'm going to get down in the mud. I'm going to get dirty. Congratulations on your first interception, because as a DB, once you get that first interception, they start to come in bunches. And that's the way it goes. Because once I touched the ball the first time, luckily for me, I got an interception in my second quarter of my first game. So I was like, I belong. Because until you get that interception, you don't feel like you belong. So I think now he understands, okay, I got my hand on the ball. I need to get my hand on more. I need to give my quarterback short fields. I need to give my offense short fields. I need to start to impact the game differently than the rest of the guys around me.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask me.
You hear this, you see it a lot. Some guys who are always around the football, right? They just have a knack.
Yeah.
So I feel like you were kind of one of those guys too. You were always around it.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't touching it, you were right there.
Yeah.
Does that come from knowing the playbook? Does it come from being prepared? Is there an innate sense where you just kind of have a feel?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you who I thought. It's some DBs that the ball finds them.
True.
They don't find the ball. D. Hall. D'Angelo.
Oh, my God.
Was one of, like,
yes.
I used to be like, D'Angelo, do you got a rabbit foot? Because D'Angelo just be standing on the field, the dude will fall in front of him and the ball will pop out. And I'd be like, what is going on? Drake Bly was like that.
Okay.
Rondé Barber was like that. The ball finds them. I think it's a mixture of a film study. Mm-hmm. I think it's a mixture of Johnny on the spot and a rabbit's foot the size of the moon. Because it takes a little luck. Like the ball, you ever heard the ball is bouncing your way? Like some guys, the ball bounced that way their whole career.
It's like puck luck in hockey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's that guy that rebounds the ball and literally all I got to do is dunk it. So it's a layup for some guys, and some guys just have that intuition. I want to say that feel force that comes from somewhere that says, you know what, I'm gonna always be around the ball. I'm gonna impact it, and it has a lot to do with just one simple thing: running to the ball. Mm-hmm. Even when the action ain't by you, near you, running to the ball. The ball is life, like Coach Witt says, and life is what I need.
This linebacking core,
yes.
I think it's important to be positive, not just because this was a very good performance, even though it's, like you said, we're disappointed about the loss, but because we are seeing that group come together. Dante Fowler, 5th multi-sack game of his career.
Congratulations, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner does what Bobby Wagner does, 12 tackles.
Yeah, that's
led
what he
the
does.
team like he always does.
Yeah.
He's going to be a yellow jacket for a reason. But when you put Wagner, Luvu, and Fowler together, this linebacking core can match up against any in the NFL.
I think linebacking cores are the difference in between championships and not. Mm-hmm. When you talk about defense, everybody talks about the front, everybody talks about the back end. I think it's all about the linebacker because they are enforcers. Mm-hmm. They are the identity of a defense. They are the physicality of a defense. I always used to talk trash to my D linemen because I'd be like, y'all dudes are soft. And they'll be like,
your own D lineman?
Yeah, because I always tell them, I have to hit Jerome Bettis at 100 miles per hour. You hit Jerome Bettis at 3 miles per hour.
That's a good point.
I am tougher than you. I have to hit tight ends that's 6'6", 260 pounds while they are full stride, and you hit them while they just cranking the cob. So I think the linebackers are the enforcers in their way because, think about it. Let's talk the last 3 years.
Okay.
The 49ers have been known as one of the best defenses, led by Fred Warner.
Yeah.
All right, the Ravens have been known as some of the best defensive teams, led by linebackers. All right, Pittsburgh, led by linebackers.
Yeah.
So the linebackers, to me, are legitly your identity, your physicality. They are the enforcers, and they are the ones that lay the foundation of what we are. They get to hit running backs, wide receivers, everybody.
You have to be multifaceted
To play the linebacker position. So I was lucky that I got to play with London Fletcher, old El Capitan, because one thing about London is I knew for a fact he's coming at one point.
Yeah.
Like if the wide receiver comes in and run the dig route, London is coming. I know he's coming somewhere, and he's going to meet me there for the tackle. When you know you have that as a defense, it helps you as a defensive back play a little bit more relaxed. And by the way, my mistakes won't kill us because I got reinforcement coming.
I love meeting guys like that, especially defensively, who are such nice guys. You're one of those guys, London, and one of those guys. But then when they talk about football, you can kind of see a shift.
It switches, right?
Yeah, it's like, I remember I was talking to London one time, who was as nice as it gets, the Man of the Year nominee. Yeah. And all of a sudden I see his eyes go like, and I was like,
switch.
That's a switch right there.
I've been in a huddle with him where
it's crazy.
He turns into the Terminator and it's like, okay, why you got snot in your nose calling the play? And he's like, let's go do this.
Right.
Let's go do this, and let's go do this now. So like I said, these guys, they enjoy inflicting pain.
Yeah.
And it takes a special individual to enjoy inflicting pain upon other people. And that's why I say the linebackers, to me, are the heart and soul of every great defense. And that's why I love Coach Ken Norton.
Right.
Because we watch him walk around the building. He'd be like, I don't even know if I need to speak to him like today.
Hey, he was no joke when he played.
I
man.
understand who Ken Norton Jr. is.
Yes.
I understand who his daddy was.
That whole, yes.
I want to be a Norton.
Wasn't his dad like a championship boxer too? Yes.
Yeah, so inflicting pain is what he's used to. Like, that's why I respect boxers in a way. That is a solo sport. Like, I always talk about sports. Like, football is such a team sport. It's a dream sport. But when you like one-on-one, like golf, tennis, boxing, it's you It's just you. That's who you got to depend on today.
Yeah.
You. So that's a different thing.
And when it comes to motivation, it's just you. You don't have a teammate to pick you up,
You don't
to
have
give you some
anything.
positive words. It's just
if
you.
it's a bad day today, I can't lean on him. I have nobody to lean on. So it's like being an only child, which I am.
On the defensive line, John Allen, now out for the season.
Big loss.
Yeah, that's a huge loss. The good thing for this team is that there is depth there. Johnny Newton got a lot of snaps.
yes,
but
sir.
Arian Mathis looked good.
Yes.
So we'd obviously love to have Big John in the lineup, but there's at least the depth in place here to make up for that.
I would say, like, if you was going to lose a guy, you would want it to be at the defensive tackle. That's where there's a gluttoness of, like, talent. That's where you have guys that you've been trying to get in the rotation that you can't. Because it was just too many of those guys. So, yeah, I think John Allen going to be a big loss. I think it puts a little bit more on on Payne's plate for him to be the lead dog in there and start to make some plays. But anytime a guy comes up injured, it's an opportunity for somebody else to just set in stone that I can do this job. I think Newton is a guy that says, hey, put me in, coach. I can handle it. For Darren Mathis, put me in, give me a chance to show people who I am. Let me become a household name. Like, that's the thing. I remember talking to Darrell Green when I first got here as a rookie, and my first conversation with him, it was, how do you play 20 years of football?
Remarkable.
And he was like, what is my backup's name? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Because he was like, I never let him play. I never let him play.
I believe it.
And that's a thing, man. It's like durability and understanding that I just have to be available. That's the best ability in football is availability. Yeah. Like, are you going to be there at all times?
This weekend, Commanders hosting the Panthers.
Yeah.
The Panthers stink.
They do.
They are a bad football team.
Yeah, they are.
But you can never overlook anyone in the NFL.
They are a pro football team.
They have professional grown men who are making money.
And the Red Rifle is throwing their ball.
Yes. Although, did you see, I was telling Anna this where, I don't know if you saw the telecast last week, they cut away to Bryce Young on the sideline.
Yeah.
And the play-by-play guy was just making a point that, look, the Red Rifle, say what you want, he's had a nice long career in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the announcer goes, the play-by-play guy goes, you know, Bryce Young just needs to learn from a real professional. Oh, and that is picked off. And it was a pick six the other way. And I was like, oh, man, any dog pick six.
Wrong professional.
Yeah, just the wrong moment for that. You can never control that. But how do you prevent, this is a game you absolutely should win.
Yeah.
When there's a letdown after that Ravens loss, how do you make sure you get right back on track?
Because you don't go into this game saying we should win. You're going in there saying we want to win every week. Like, we're not going to take our opponent for granted, and we're not going to put our opponent in on pedestal. All right? That's why last week they was asked the coaches, is this a measuring stick? No, this ain't no measuring stick. We ain't measured by the Ravens.
Yeah, we belong.
We belong. So when you feel that way, nothing else matters. All right, so when you come and you play the Panthers, you understand in our house, we're going to beat you like a drum, like we're going to try to beat everybody else like a drum. Like, we don't take anybody for granted. This team is too young to do that. Like, they don't see out of those eyes. They haven't established themselves. They haven't established themselves as a year in and year out. We're going to go to the playoff. We are going to try to win the Super Bowl. No, we're building right now. So you can't ever overlook the Panthers. Why would you overlook the Panthers? Because the Panthers sure ain't overlooking you.
No, that's true. And I love that Bobby Wagner, of course, a guy who is already a legend in this league later on in his career, still playing at a high level, was talking about accountability.
Yeah,
we got to learn from this and be accountable and say, all right, now it's time to learn from this and get better.
No, you have to get better, man. Like, we're going to learn from our mistakes. And that's why I got my old saying that I've been telling the fan base the whole year. Let grandmama cook. Be patient. I understand this is for the long haul. This is not a sugar high. We're building for something long-term, something that can be sustained over a decade. We're trying to build something real. I need people to be conscious of where we at, who we are, and what we got going on.
You got to get Let Grandma Cook on a shirt. Somebody said that in the comments, and I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, I am going to it's 2 shirts that I'm finna set out to make, all right? Let Grandma cook with her over that pot, stirring that pot like Young Jeezy. Second of all, Second of all, I'm going to do my damn shame Hall of Fame shirt. And I'm looking for people to help me out with that. Where I'm going to put Joe Jacoby on the right, all his stats, everything. London Fletcher in the middle, Brian Mitchell on the left side of it. Because it's a damn shame that these three players are not in the Hall of Fame. And it's up to us, with the fan base, the fans of Washington, we have to hold them accountable, hold the Hall of Fame accountable. First of all, I just want to be honest. I love everybody that get in. I support everybody that get in. But no way. And I love Devin Hester. They're one of my favorite players of all time. He should not have got in before B. Mitch.
Oh, I agree.
I'm sorry.
I think Devin Hester would agree with that.
Devin would agree with that. Patrick Willis. I love Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis played at Ole Miss. I've been a fan of Patrick Willis. He shouldn't have got in before London Fletcher.
Yeah.
All right? Like, I love all the guys. Come on, Joe Jacoby. Come on, man. It's time to show some love. It's time to show some respect. Stop all the hate.
You know my favorite T-shirt story in the NFL is, remember when Brian Bosworth played?
Yeah.
And he didn't play for too long.
The Boss.
The Boss. And I hated the Boss. He went to OU and I went to Texas.
Because you're a Texas guy. You hated the Boss.
But when he came in the league, he was really brash, and he was challenging like the league's number rules. Like he wanted to wear 44, and you couldn't at the time. It was a whole mess. But people hated him, right?
Yeah.
And so he went... He was playing for the Seahawks, and they went to Denver one weekend. Yeah. And all of these Denver fans were buying T-shirts that said, like, F Boz or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Guess who was the one who had those T-shirts made?
Boz.
He did.
Yes.
So he's like, I know they hate me. I'm going to make these shirts. And Denver fans were padding his pockets.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, any emotion pays you. If you hate me, you invested in me.
Yeah.
If you love me, you invested in me. As long as I stroke any emotion from you, it tells me you're emotionally invested in me. All right? So as a corner, that's why I talk so much trash. Fan bases hated me. All right? But my fan base loved me.
Yes.
Because I
still
represented them to the point where they wanted to talk the trash. So until I regurgitated what they really wanted to say to these players, I regurgitated. So it don't matter emotionally. Like, long as I got you on the hook emotionally, you're a part of me.
So since we're talking about emotions, you made a good point, because we were talking just before we went on. The emotions of playing a team you used to play for.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy Chin or Frankie Louvu.
Yeah.
And we thought, okay, this is a revenge game. You're going back. And you said, no.
This ain't no revenge game. Not when you upgrade. Right. It's like, I don't think Frankie Louvu was coming in and saying, you didn't believe in me. I'm finna make you pay. Jeremy Chin, I hate y'all because y'all didn't give me a chance.
Right.
They want to read me up. No, I think it's thank you. Thank you for letting me leave.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me upgrade my situation. Thank you for giving me a shot.
Yes.
Thank you. No hate.
Right.
Still got teammates on that team they play with that they're looking back at afar and be like, okay, Carolina going through the same thing we went through last year, huh? Well, I'm not going through that right now.
Right.
I'm in a better place. And when you're in a better place, you don't spew hate. You spew happiness.
So, hey, appreciate you. I'm going to go over here.
You know how many of them teammates they're going to shake their hand up after that game and say, you know what? We got a spot for you over here.
You ever want to come back? Man?
Yeah.
You want to come back?
No. Come on. You come here. I understand what you're going through there.
Yeah.
Come here, man. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. This environment is great. The franchise is great. The ownership is great. The head coach is great. Come on over here, man. The sun is shining. Not mad. No hate here. Like, even when I left Minnesota, I asked him, trade me back to Washington.
Okay.
I had no malice. I had no hate against Minnesota.
Because you've always said you appreciated your time there.
I enjoyed my time there. I loved my time there. But I also understood if I really wanted to get the best out of Fred Smoot, I needed to be in Washington. I was happy here. This was home. After retiring, it's still home. Like, I felt better here. And sometimes I don't think athletes get to say how they feel.
Yeah.
Because we don't get that choice. Well, I wasn't that type of dude. I went right up to the ownership. I skipped the head coaches, skipped the GM and said, hey, man, I want to go back. Yeah. Like, they're like, nah. No, I want to go back. Please, help me. Help me do this. And Coach Gibbs was like, yes, come on back.
I'll give the Panthers credit. They do some things well. Chuba Hubbard runs the ball well.
Oh, he runs the ball.
Chuba can play. He played well.
Yeah.
I remember when Texas would play Oklahoma State, he was great as a Cowboy.
He was running the ball.
And he can run. 92 yards last week, and now you have maybe a bit of a weakened defensive front because John Allen is out. So how do you slow down Carolina defensively?
You make them one-dimensional.
Yeah.
You force the Red Rifle to beat you. You're not going to let you beat them on the ground because when you beat you on the ground, it's kind of defensive. Like people look at running the ball as offensive. It's kind of defensive because if they run the ball, they keep Jaden Daniels on the sideline. We don't want them to do that. We want them to be 3 and out. So that's how you got to do it. You got to put the ball in the Red Rifle hands and say, you beat me. We're not going to let you beat that. Then we got the crowd noise. It's going to be home field advantage. It's going to be D Green Day. It's going to be so many emotions going on in that game. It's going to be the old folks home of Ashburn in there. I'm talking about old on old. I'm going to get to see guys from the 70s. I'm going to get to see guys from the 80s, the 90s. But guess what? That's D Green's gap. He played with all of us.
He's like the linchpin there.
Listen, I got to play with D Green, and I got drafted in 2001. Ray Brown got to play with D Green. And did they play together in the 90s, the 80s?
Definitely the 80s.
Yeah, so
right?
I'm just like, it's such a big gap there. Like, I don't think it's any other player that you can say, all right, we're going to retire your jersey, and they touch so many generations.
Yes.
Like, he's touched so many generations that it's going to be crazy. So the emotions will be off the wall. The fan base is going to be crazy. Maybe it just was a bad week for the Panthers to play us.
Yeah.
We don't make the schedule. The schedule make us. But I just think it's going to be an emotional uproar in there, and I think the players going to be inching at the bit to get back in the win column. Like, that's all they thinking about.
Yeah.
Let's get back in the win column. We don't care who we're playing. It just happened to be the Panthers.
Call us on a house phone.
Please do.
Doesn't
Rotary.
matter. On the rotary. Doesn't matter if you have a hot take, you want to ask Smoot a question. Tell Smoot how good he looks in his mock neck. It's fall weather. Yes. 703-726-7419. That is 703-726-7419. You want to pay some bills?
Why not?
You got it?
I got it, baby.
Okay, I want to make sure.
You know how I do it, man. I used to read on Reading Rainbow, as a side job when I was young. I used to read, for Reading Rainbow. That's how I go. The Get Loud podcast is brought to you by Bet365, the official sporting betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip with parlays. Access thousands a game with live streaming. Place your bet before the match or during the game. It's really up to you. I like before the game and during the game because sometimes it slides. You never know how it's going to go. Download the Bet365 app today and join 80 million members worldwide. Age 21 plus. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life don't escape us. We dream of any place in the world, and in a blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. You know what I'm saying? Fly. Don't do that. Don't drive. I like to drive. Fly. All you have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop.
Man, you did read on Reading Rainbow.
I did. I did. Like, I used to watch Reading Rainbow.
LeVar Burton, right?
LeVar Burton. I think he was the teacher for all of us. I think he's the universal American teacher.
Immediately, I was like, oh, it's LeVar Burton.
And what was the other one with the paint dude?
Oh gosh. Yes. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
The white fro. Yes, the pretty little tree.
These two figureheads taught the 80s and the 90s everything we know.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a touch point for almost everyone that grew up in that generation.
No, our generation was a different generation. Think about our generation. We went from flow model TVs to cell phones.
Yeah.
Pay phones. We've seen it all. Like we're the generation that's non-technology, all technology.
Yes.
Like, so we're the test dummies, Jinx.
That's true.
We are the test dummies. And now our kids, they major in technology where when I tell my kid back in my day, I never want to feel like that. Because my parents said it all the time, back in our day, and now I catch myself.
I know.
We didn't have that. I didn't have a Cartoon Network that showed cartoons anytime. I had to wait after school. I had to wait Saturday morning. Different generation.
And then you say things that don't quite make sense. You're like, I didn't own a TikTok. You're like, that's not really the way you should say that.
That ain't the way you should really say that. I can't be TikToking around here. Come on, Dad, join me in this TikTok. And I'm like, no.
So one guy that spans generations, as we know, you were talking about him.
Yeah.
Darrell Green.
Yeah.
will have his jersey rightfully retired on
Yes.
Sunday. What does a guy who has done everything, one of the greatest to ever play this game, regardless of team, what does he mean to this franchise?
First of all, what does he mean to this city? What does he mean to the DMV? He's been here so long. He's done so much. He's Mr. Washington. They did a poll on the most dominant athlete in DMV history, and D Green won.
Yeah.
Like, he is, when you say DC, it's the president and then Darrell Green. Like, D Green has touched so much of the youth. That's who I picked up my philanthropy, doing stuff for people. I picked it up from Darrell.
Yeah.
Like, from when I got here, he was like, man, you're going to touch a lot of people by how you play. I want you to touch a lot of people by what you do for them.
I love that.
All right, so giving back, he really incorporated. There was already a piece of me, but he really showed me how to get that done. He said, anytime the team asks you to do something, never turn them down. And I have always been like that. I never turn them down. And I think that's what makes him more than an athlete. Some players are just athletes. Okay, I get that. He is more than an athlete. He is a part of this area. He's a part of lives. People timestamp themselves off of games he played and things he's done.
Yes.
So it's so different when you're more than just a player. And Darrell Green is the epitome of more than just a player.
I can see that rubbing off on you because I've been out with you in the wild, and you are someone who spends time with people. You'll talk, have a conversation, you'll do something for the community. And doesn't that mean so much to a fan? Because you never know what you're going to get when it comes to someone famous. Could be an actor, could be a celebrity, whatever it is. And then you meet them and you're like, and not only that I love watching them play, I met this person, they were great to me. And that really solidifies that bond.
You'll be shocked with just a conversation, a 2-minute conversation, man. Like, people are investments, all right? People are the power. People always ask, you got money, you got this. No, I got people wealth. As long as I got people wealth, I'll never be broke. They won't let me be broke. And that's what you invest your time and you invest your things into people. And I think that's what Darrell always taught. Darrell taught people. He was always one of those guys you could go up in the locker room and sit down and have a conversation with, no matter how hard it was, no matter what it was about. He was going to be like, yeah, man, you should do it this way. You should get it done this way. I know this is bothering you. How about we do it a whole different way? Like, so he was one of them guys. He's a problem solver. And when you're a problem solver in society needs you because society is full of problems.
And, you know, I grew up in Texas, as we know, and even from afar, like growing up and learning, watching the NFL, Darrell Green was a star. He was a star where, do you remember Superstars? They would have the show Superstars, and they would take athletes from across all different sports, and they would compete against each other. And, of course, they put him in the sprint. They'd be like, all right.
First of all, nobody could beat him.
Nobody could ever beat him.
He's the fastest old man in the world.
But he was.
I can bet right now that Darrell could probably beat some 30-year-olds running right now. He's just one of the best athletes I've ever seen. I remember him blowing out, who was that, Herschel Walker?
Herschel Walker, 87.
Like the fastest man I ever seen. And it asked me to challenge myself and say, could he have beat Carl Lewis? Because I think as a runner, you only fast as who you racing. Like, so if nobody in football could challenge him, why not go challenge the track star? And I think right now to this day, I'm sorry, Carl. I'm sorry. I think Darrell Green could have beaten you, Carl Lewis. I think Darrell Green could have beaten you. Just like I would love to see Noah Lyles in the Cheetah. I would love
Don't you think? Oh, man, I hate to get off track here, but the world's fastest man winning multiple gold medals in the Olympics.
I think Darrell Green could have beat him.
Yeah?
Darrell Green beat me when I was 21 years old. That's when we were still having the fastest Washington player contest. So it was me, him, and Champ at the end. And he beat me and Champ. He was 40.
He was unbelievable.
I went home and cried.
No, you didn't.
I looked at my feet and said, you know what? What's wrong with you? Like, listen, man, I would love to see that race. Even with them old. I would love to see the Carl Lewis, the Darrell Green race, just like I want to see the Noah Lyles and the Cheetah. I really do. I think Tyreek Hill can give him a run for his money because like Darrell Green, I think Tyreek is only fast as the person he's racing.
Yeah.
I really do legitimately think that. And as a DB, a former DB, we are chasers. Our job is to chase people. So at a blink of a dime, we have to make cuts and we have to go get people from 3, 4, 5, 6 yards. I think if Carl Lewis got out on Darrell Green, let's just say he had a 3-step lead.
Okay.
I think Darrell will run him down. I think Darrell will run him down.
I would love to believe that, but I just feel these world-class track athletes, when that's all they do, like everything they do, there's no wasted motion. Everything they do is in such a way to gain speed, to make sure that they don't overexert themselves. It has to do with aerodynamics, everything, as opposed to being, I'm just fast.
Yeah, and that's why I think Darrell would beat him, because Darrell just fast. He's running reckless.
But these dudes are already just fast. Now they're going into the technical aspects of it.
But they also is one technical difficulty, and they can't do it. One, I got out the block slow. If Darrell get out the block slow, he don't care. So I just think the wildness of what Darrell has in his speed, he would beat them. Like I legitly think he would have beat them. I think I've seen guys that run 4.2. What do you think Darrell 40 was coming out as a youngster?
It was easily 4.3, 4.2 something.
No, it's way faster than 4.3. Way faster than 4.3.
Well, if you're getting it, 4.2 is like sort of the limits of what we've seen.
I feel like if Darrell really raced Carl Lewis, we wouldn't know who would win, because Darrell would probably go back in time before the race over with. I feel like he would run.
He would run so fast
that he'll go back in time.
Like Back to the Future. Like before the end, he would just disappear.
He just disappear.
And he'd show up at like 62.
No, he'll show up in 2025.
Right.
What happened? Like, what's going on? Listen, man, I'm telling you, man, I've seen Darrell run, man, and it's ridiculous how fast that dude was. Like, I think he's one of the athletes that we truly don't know his speed.
Well, fair enough.
I think we truly didn't get, I don't think he got clocked correctly.
No, okay, that's fair, because I don't think they had electronic timers back then.
They did have electronic time.
It was just hand time.
They were doing it with hand time. So I think truly he could have been one of the fastest men on earth.
Well, he'll still probably be the fastest guy this weekend. We know that. It's Legends Weekend.
Yeah.
Alumni Weekend.
Old folks.
Old folks weekend. So outside of D Green, who are you most forward looking to see? Yeah.
I love me some Ray Brown.
Yeah.
Listen, Ray Brown is my guy. I love to see Jacoby. You notice I like offensive linemen and defensive linemen.
Big boys.
It's the big boys, man. I want to see those guys. I wish a guy like Darrell Gardner came back, the guy that stole my house for like 3 weeks. I love even guys from my class, Rod Gardner. Like I love to see family. I love to see I'm one of them guys, I knew everybody on my teams. I ingratiated myself with the old guys. Luckily, I get to see Gary all the time, so I want to see Art Monk. I love Art because Art don't like to talk, so he just listens to me talk all the time.
He's a great listener.
I love to see Big Country, Stephen Davis. That's my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I actually want to see Casey Ryback. They're my guys. Ethan Albright. The red snapper. You understand me? Nobody gives the long snapper love. Me and Ethan Albright used to sit and talk trash to each other so much. Now, yes, I said it. Trash talking long snapper.
I started saying, I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Yes, a trash talking long snapper. Derek Frost, punter. I like to see everybody. I like everybody, man, because football don't last forever, but these connections do. Yeah. Bubba Tyler, the trainer. I love Bubba. All of us love Bubba. So it's a little bit of everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody so I can just talk trash to them the whole weekend.
Is there someone you ever get in awe of? Like for me, and of course when I first started, I was like, oh my God, there's athletes, celebrities. But then you realize quickly, this is a job. I got a job to do.
Yeah.
But when I meet famous broadcasters, people I admire, like I met James Brown one time.
James Brown, one of my favorite all time. I got to work with James Brown when I worked for CBS. It was so fun.
I believe he's from Bethesda.
No, he's from this area.
Yeah, and so I walked into my old studio, this is years ago, and he goes, hey, Michael. And I was like, James Brown knows my name?
Yeah,
JB knows my name. And I was nervous. I was like, I'm so nervous.
Yeah,
it's nice to meet you. I admire you so much. Is there a player or someone that you are still sort of in awe of?
I can't say this because the player that I was in awe of, he made himself available for me in college, and that was Deion Sanders.
Okay.
I patterned everything. I wore number 2 in college because of Deion.
Yeah.
Like everything I did was because of Deion. And he reached out to me while I was in college to give me a heads up on this, on that, saying that he was watching me. So that kind of broke my starstruckness. It took it away. It took it.
That's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah, it took it away. So once I got here, it was like, man, I'm fine. I'm good. So I was never starstruck. I think the first time truly that I was starstruck, because I just never looked at people like that, was when I met Barack Obama.
Okay. Well,
when I met Barack, I was like, oh, this is what importance looked like. Because I didn't feel like as an athlete my job was important. But the president job is important.
Yeah.
So to meet Barack was the guy, all right? That was the guy. The only guy from even the past that I think I'll be starstruck with is one of my favorites of all time, and that's Ben Franklin. You know I love Ben Franklin.
I know you love Ben
Franklin.
Franklin.
Listen, you
are like the biggest Benjamin Franklin fanboy I've ever met. It's crazy.
Listen, I just want one day to spend with this man. I think he's one of the most brilliant men of all time.
Okay.
It's a reason why he owned a $100 bill. And he was never president. He was a diplomat in a way that nobody else was. He was special in a way that nobody else was. So if I could bring up anybody from history to just spend a day with, it'll be Ben Franklin. What about you?
Oh, for
me. One dude. Like,
one
history,
person?
One dude. All history you get to spend a whole day with. Pick his brain.
In history?
Yeah.
You got to go with Honest Abe, maybe, right?
You going Abraham?
Yeah.
The Lincoln?
My girlfriend, the lovely Catherine, asked me that. I don't know why we're talking about presidents. And she goes, what do you think about Abraham? I go, Abraham who? I go,
Jenkins?
are you talking about Abe Lincoln? Why are you calling him Abraham? You mean President Lincoln? Abe Lincoln? Yeah. Maybe Abe Lincoln. I think that's an obvious answer, but I'd have to think about it.
What would have happened if you and Abe was kicking it that day? And you know he used to be a boxer and a wrestler.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you did not?
No.
What if Abe took his shirt off and be like, come on, Jinx, let's go a couple rounds?
I tell you what, I think if Abraham Lincoln took his shirt off around me and wanted to box,
you know,
I'd
he
be
was
like,
like 6'6".
How did I get here?
Yeah, he was like 6'6", right? He was huge.
He was a big guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see Abraham whoop you to death. I would love to see Abraham whoop you to death.
He probably would. I'm a lover. I'm a lover.
I would referee that match. And when I pick you up off the ground and say, you know, Abe just beat you to death.
I'd like to see Abraham Lincoln whip you.
That's a shame. I would love to see it though, G.
Okay. This is the perfect time to go into our voicemails. Call us. Give us a call. Tell us which president you would like to give you a good old butt whipping.
Yeah.
Old-fashioned butt whipping.
Yeah.
703-726-7419. Oh, I'd like to get a roundhouse from FDR.
Hey, you know what? FDR was very adventurous.
Yes.
I enjoyed him. What about George Washington with those wood teeth? Would you get a splinter punching him in the mouth?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying, different guys, different things.
Woo!
Well, I'm going to interject here. Hi, everyone. How about you pay them bills, James?
Oh, there you go, Anna. Flip
here.
off Anna saying pay them bills.
Pay them bills. Thanks.
Commanders fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all of the action. They make it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of the touchdown celebrations this season. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling tickets to any Commanders football games or any other live event in D.C., like a president taking his shirt off and boxing somebody, giving them an old-fashioned butt whipping.
Yeah.
SeatGeek is the place to find those tickets, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders, the most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Yeah, go to SeatGeek Thursday. It's a match between Abraham Lincoln and Michael Jenkins at the Fed House.
This conversation was not on my bingo card. By the way, this is just pure get loud
I
shenanigans.
saw Nixon whip a guy's ass, and Sean was the greatest things I ever saw.
Richard.
Oh my gosh. All right, we ready for this voicemail?
Yes, we are.
We hit two topics in this voicemail, so
Let's
ready?
do it.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, what's going on, Smoot? What's going on, Jenks? Man, I was just calling in. It's D Skeezy from Bad News, Newport News, Virginia, for everybody else. Just want to call in, man, to weigh my opinion, man. I see a whole lot of people questioning, a lot of fans questioning, Is this real? This can't be real. We went through this before, and I think we need some therapy. I think the whole fan base, the whole franchise, the whole team need to go sit down with a therapist, especially the old fans, not the new teammates, not the new people that's just coming aboard. I'm talking about the old fans that's been around for a while. You know what I mean? That's been around since the last Super Bowl in 1991. We all need to go sit down with a therapist. We need to let them know how we feel and get all our feelings out, so that way we can go ahead and start fresh, man. Embrace this newness that we have going on, because we knew. Everything's new. From the top down, we knew. And that's just my opinion. This D-Skeezy out, man. I enjoy what y'all doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Hey, Smoot, I got some opinions about Command Center. I think we should have a guest fan every month. Maybe one episode, a guest fan comes on, whoever the biggest fan is, show your support for the team. If you win, then we'll bring you on the show. You get a couple of minutes of fame. You get your opinions, all that good stuff. Tell me what you think. I love y'all, what y'all doing, man. Go Commanders. We on top. We going to stay there.
Oh, I do
That's
like
a great call.
that. I
Great
think
call.
we should bring a fan on for Command Center, one of the better fans, Tailgate Ted and all the rest of these guys, the rally captain, all of these guys, bring these guys on. I think that's a good thing, but he is right. I think we need to call, this is a job for Dr. Field.
Oh.
Because if we're going to heal the whole fan base,
Yeah.
imagine just bringing Dr. Field before a game and let him talk to the fan base.
Oh, God.
Like, wouldn't that be great? You don't think that'll be great?
I'm trying to come up with some Dr. Phil-isms. Because when he come up with some weird, like, kind of country sayings and
Yeah,
stuff.
he would. He would sit down and guys and ladies and gents, we need to talk about the past in order to move in the future.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what hurt you. Let's talk about what you hurt, and let's talk about what's new. All right, let's understand where we are today compared to tomorrow. So yes, maybe 80,000 fans in the stadium. We sit Dr. Phil at the 50-yard line. Put the mic in his hand.
And he says something like, you got to go into the past before a bovine sees the sun. You're like, I don't even know what you're talking
Put
about,
that a
dude.
finger
Makes no
mustache? You
sense.
just put
Yes,
one
I put
finger
a- I put on a Dr. Phil
mustache.
mustache.
I thought you was about to throw up. I didn't know what you were.
No, that's a Dr. Phil mustache.
Yeah, we need that.
You know what, though? I'll tell you what. This may be a little too personal, but whatever. I was going to therapy, and I was going through it in a big way. And this woman is still, I'm close to her to this day, the biggest professional, like the best professional you would ever meet in your life. But I was going through it, and I was expressing myself. She was being a pro. But as I was walking out, it's the only time in years she ever kind of broke the code, if you will.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking out, I hear her go, honey. And I turn, she goes, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I just needed to hear someone
Say
you know
that.
what it's gonna be. Let me just tell you person to person here. I'm gonna break through for a second and let you know it's gonna be okay. I'm telling you, it's gonna be okay. We're on the right side.
Yeah, we on the right side. And guess what? When I was going to my shrink all the time, my shrink thought I was one of the most craziest people.
It's just not shocking. You're like, where can I see you next time? I'm so sorry.
And she was like, man, she's like, you're a very special case. And I was like, no worry, I'll see you Monday. Man, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps, man. Because I was young. I had a lot on my shoulders. You're trying to take care of my whole family and, playing football. And she kept me grounded. She kept me grounded. Also, she let me be me. And that's why I tell people all the time, man, maybe you just need to go see a shrink, man. Sometimes you just need to let it out. Don't be afraid to let it out, man. It's always been great for me.
Okay, Anna.
All right.
What we
That
got?
was a great little voicemail. That was it. Because
He's
the rest-
easy. Well done, man.
This, however, what I've got coming up here, I want as many voicemails. You guys send your takes, your thoughts. We're about to do some serious player comps here. We're going to do Washington Legends to current NFL players. And if there's anybody we missed, feel free to let us know in the comments, in the voicemails, and we'll give you our takes next week.
I'm terrible at this.
After hopefully
You're
a Panthers.
very good at this.
Yeah, I know how to because every player got a template. Like we we a piece of every athlete that played before us. I just like to try to match them up to make them be familiar.
So was yours Dion, Fred, or who was it? Because I know you said he impacted you a lot.
He impacted me a lot, but I think people would have come me because I came in right when corners were starting to get taller. So I was really a tall, long coner. Didn't quite have the speed of a Deion Sanders. So it was it'll be hard. Let me come back to that, Anna, and see who they would have compared me to.
Make sure you guys stick around for
Dale Carter is who they compared me to coming out.
Okay.
Dale Carter.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Well, let's stick around and we can hear Fred's personal player comp for himself. But we'll start off on the defensive side of the ball with Champ Bailey.
Oh, that's hard.
You have a very soothing voice today, Anna.
Yeah, she
Have
does.
you noticed?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I had 3
Stick
coffees.
around. You can hear Fred
I
make
can
his
say
player
that was a
comps here
soap
on the
commercial
show.
or something. I don't know.
And then later on, we'll take some more voicemails, Fred.
I hate to do this.
That's good.
When it comes to Champ, especially with me having a relationship with him and played with him on the opposite side of him, no, we have no Champ Bailey.
Oh.
Not on this team. We have no athlete that compares to Champ. Don't forget, Champ played wide receiver and running back too, and return kicks.
What about what about a current day like a Patrick Surtain?
Now that'll be more to a Champ
Yeah.
Bailey. That'll be more to a Champ Bailey. But to say we have one on this roster, we don't have a Champ Bailey on this roster.
No.
We're doing NFL. If we're doing NFL in general,
NFL, I would go, Patrick Surtain Jr.
Pat Surtain.
I got one.
Yeah, you did.
I got one.
Nice about it. Who we got next now?
All right, Pierre Garçon.
Ooh, Pierre. Like Luke McCaffrey.
Oh, okay.
Luke McCaffrey. Pierre was, listen, Pierre a dog.
You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt, but every time I hear someone talk about Pierre that played with them, the first thing they do is they say, yo,
a dog.
Pierre Garçon, yes.
Man, listen to me, man. One of the strongest wide receivers. Love blocking. Mm-hmm. Like most receivers don't like to block. Pierre will choke you. All right? Pierre was, listen, when you play Pierre Garçon, get ready for 4 quarters of football.
I love that.
This won't be just a wide receiver, cornerback thing.
Right.
Pierre is going to dig out linebackers. Pierre is going to wrestle DBs to the ground. Pierre is going to bite you on your leg through the face mask. I don't even know how that happened. But Luke McCaffrey gives off Pierre vibes.
Mm-hmm. Are you going from this team? We're going NFL.
We could do the entire NFL, so don't feel like stuck to this roster. Jinx, you got
no,
anybody?
but I do feel like Luke is
really?
very Pierre.
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
I like it. How about Rod Gardner?
Family. Listen, that's his name. Family. That's what we call it.
Is it?
Rod was a huge dude. Like just a big old wide receiver. Could get deep. That wasn't really his thing, but he could fight for the ball. And luckily, we had a guy that he mimicked at the same time, Michael Westbrook.
Yep.
They were the same guy to me. Rod Gardner and Michael Westbrook were the same guy.
They had similar skill sets.
Yeah, similar skill set. So if I had to say today who would remind me of Rod Gardner, that's a good question. Maybe a T. Higgins?
Oh, T's a good one. That's
T.
very
Higgins.
good. Yeah, I like that.
T. Higgins.
It's a good comp.
All right, how about B. Mitch?
Oh,
Brian
B.
Mitchell.
Mitch. I think B. Mitch invented the third down back. All right. He invented the returner # third down back. Austin Eckler.
Yes.
Ooh.
Where's the 30?
Especially this year. He's wearing the 30 and he's playing great on special teams.
Eckler is the perfect B. Mitch clone, plus they both missing hair.
You ever seen a picture of B. Mitch with hair?
No,
and then mustache.
No, he had that mustache weasel.
Oh,
he had the biggest mustache. I thought it was a Snicker. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, my God. All right, how about Joe Theismann?
Joe, this is what people don't understand about Joe. Joe used to return kicks. What
I keep
other
hearing that, which
quarterback?
is wild to me.
What other quarterback did you know that used to return kicks? None of them. So I say Joe was a better athlete than people gave him credit for.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I would probably say today Baker Mayfield.
I like that.
Baker Mayfield, because Baker is a better athlete than people think he is.
Not super tall, like
Not
shorter
super
quarterback.
tall. I'm going to throw in between the tackles. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get the job done. Baker Mayfield Theismann is what I call it.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
How about Darrell Green? Does anyone compare in the league today?
I don't know.
It's not another Darrell. I'm sorry. Nobody with those intangibles. Nobody that fast.
I tried to come up with like Antoine Winfield, but he's a safety and he's a big dude.
It's
nobody. I don't know
I
anybody.
remember when I was talking to Champ, and Champ saw me watching Darrell on film, and he was like, "Stop watching it." And I like, "What you mean?" He like, man, let me tell you something. Can't nobody D Green but D Green. Like, you're not going to learn from his technique because nobody can do what he does.
He does his own thing.
He does his own thing. So I don't think it's another D Green out there. I don't.
How about Russ Grimm?
Russ, be oddish. Taylor badass. Right? Be oddish. Yes. There go your Russ Grimm clone right there. What you think about that one?
I think that's solid. And what an addition Biotish has been, by the way.
I'm going to say, man, yes, I go be oddish on that one.
All right, and then I feel like we have to hit our command center guys. Santana Moss.
All right. Who is Santana today? I would say Tyreek Hill.
Ooh.
Oh, Tyreek's a good comp.
I say Tyreek the Cheetah because I think Santana was the first of the small guys playing outside, speed guys, because before then they put him in the slot.
What about Xavier Worthy? Is that too early in his career?
I think
he's more of a straight line guy.
I would say he don't have the ability to stop. Santana was fast and quick.
That's true. Tanner can stop on a dime.
He can stop on a dime. So the ability to stop, I say the Cheetah is Santana. Who else we got?
London Fletcher.
See, London ran a 4.3 coming out of school.
Did he really?
Yeah. So he was a bowling ball with like knives coming out of him. So I would probably say
linebacker.
Plus he could catch. Like a lot of linebackers can catch. So I'd probably say Fred Warner.
Warner's good.
Yeah.
Warner's big.
Not the same body type.
Yeah.
But the same explosiveness and the way they play and how nasty they are. Yeah.
They kind of command the defense.
I go Fred Warner.
All right. We have time for about one more.
Okay.
You can choose a comp. Art Monk or Doug Williams. Who do we want to find a comp for?
I'll go Arthur Monk. And I would go, who is an Art Monk clone? Mike Evans.
Ooh.
Oh, I got a Doug Williams comp. You're going to hate this. Joe Flacco.
Flacco.
Think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Had a short time or has played for multiple franchises.
Yeah,
Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
When he was on. Tall quarterback. Still played for a long time.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great. And on that note, it's time for me to geek out.
Let's geek out.
All right. Do you know this? Scientists have discovered a sixth ocean beneath the Earth's surface.
Okay.
The question for me is, what kind of animals are in the sixth ocean?
Oh, you probably don't want to know.
Is it a dinosaur in the sixth ocean? Like, what's going on? Beneath the Earth's surface.
Ocean.
Beneath the ocean.
Beneath.
Under the crust of the earth.
Under the crust.
Under
the mantle.
Because I was just going to say, isn't that just still ocean? But
No. It's a deep sea ocean that they just think they found. And it's, the possibilities are endless.
Scientists don't even know many of the animals at the bottom of our own ocean. They'll set a camera down there and they're like, what the hell is that? And there's someone with 8 eyes like swimming around. They're like, they don't even know what goes on in the depths of our own ocean.
We know more about the moon than we do the ocean.
1,000%.
And that's a shame.
So imagine there's something crawling. Oh.
All right, and this is the next one. All right, check this out. You never would have thought this one, all right?
Okay.
Al Capone is the reason we had an expiration date on milk. Do you know that?
Really?
Did you know that?
Why?
Because, when his niece got very, very sick from spoiled milk, he pushed hard for labels to protect children and pregnant women. Al Capone.
Guess what?
That's what they
Guess
did.
what?
I need you to put a date on that milk.
Yes, sir, Mr. Capone.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Put that date on that milk.
Yes,
now,
sir.
this is the last one right here.
I do love my children. Yes, sir.
This is the last one right here, right? Check this out.
Okay.
Seahorses. The only animal where the male gets pregnant instead of the female.
Oh, I knew that.
That's nice, Anna. I'm glad you did know that.
I knew that.
Yeah, Colorado Buffalo, I knew that. They teach that at Colorado.
That Colorado education. All right, Fred, we got a comp for yourself?
Dale Carter. Dale Carter was my comp.
All right, that's your, okay.
Yeah.
We're
I
sticking
thought
with
you
that.
were asking for a seahorse.
I was going to say current NFL.
Another seahorse?
I was going to say, just a seahorse.
How did that happen, by the way?
Well, here goes the thing I found out the hard way about a seahorse because I bought this very big fish tank, right? Mm-hmm. But it had corners. Oh. And my seahorses kept dying. And then my aquarium people said you cannot put a seahorse in a aquarium with corners because they have no reverse. So once they would get stuck in the corner, they would die from stress. So you can only put seahorses in circular aquariums. And I had to learn the hard way because I kept buying these seahorses. And I'm like, what's going on?
Oh
they keep dying. He was like, yeah, you have a rectangular fish tank. You can't put them in there.
I remember one time when I was living in Austin, I was working down there after I graduated, and I went to a pet store, and I don't think they probably even allow this anymore. And as you walk in, it was a pet store in like a strip mall.
Yeah.
And in the window, they had a caiman. You know what a caiman is?
I know.
And they are terrifying animals, man.
Yeah.
And this thing, like through the wall or through the window, you could hear it hissing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the? And so I'm looking around, and this old crotchety like pet store owner comes up to me and goes, you know how we don't sell those old tiny alligators or crocodiles that kids buy? I go, yeah, why not? He goes, because they turn into that. Yeah. And I was like, I believe you, because it was the meanest looking thing I'd ever seen, man.
Yes. Most definitely.
Oh, yeah, get tickets to the next game.
Yeah,
Let's do it. We got a huge. I was like, get tickets next game. Okay, I'll
that's
get
what
tickets.
we need. I'll meet you there, baby.
Yeah.
At the Fed House.
Come to the game. We'll be outdoor. Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there, and I'm going to try to get there very, very early because I want to go to as many tailgates as I can. I'm here to crash tailgates this week. I'm going to crash your tailgate. So if you're out there barbecuing, you're out there cooking, I'm going to taste some of that barbecue.
Go see Smoot. We'll be at Legends Plaza. The entire crew will be out there. Going to be a great weekend for Commanders football. Time to get back in the win column against the Panthers. That's my guy, Fred Smoot. I'm Michael Jenkins. We just geeked out, had a good time.
And we just got loud.